Hello friends, I hope you are well. Welcome to this week's Dirt Report, bringing you the latest tech and telco news from around Australia and the world. This week's roundup is heavy on the telco side. We have Optus rumored to be up for sale, Optus and TPG to stop servicing NBN customers, Aussie Broadband loses a big deal to Superloop, and 2 gigabit speeds could be near for some lucky NBN users. So welcome back if you're a long-time viewer, and of course, welcome if it's your first time. Either way, make sure to tap the like button if you like this episode and subscribe to support us. Let's get started by rolling the intro. Optus, or rather Singtel, the parent company of Optus, is reportedly in discussions to sell the Australian telecommunications giant to a Canadian private equity firm, Brookfield. Now, this potential sale is part of Singtel's broader strategy to divest non-core assets and streamline its operations, I guess, focusing on more of its core markets and businesses. Now, Optus hasn't had the best few years, with multiple public debacles that we've talked about on this channel, and of course, most recently, the CEO stepping down, leaving Optus in a bit of a bind as it tries to navigate through these potential ownership changes. However, with the right leadership and strategic direction, I think Optus could still emerge as a strong player in the Australian telco market, leveraging its already existing infrastructure and what's left of the customer base to drive growth and potentially maybe innovation. So could Brookfield be the answer? Well, if the deal materializes, it could mark a significant development in the Aussie telco landscape. Optus, being one of Australia's major telcos, has substantial presence in the market. Obviously, they offer a range of services, including mobile, broadband, and TV. A sale to Brookfield could potentially bring about changes in how Optus operates and competes in the Aussie market, of course, depending on Brookfield's strategic plans for the company. Now, this may shake up the Aussie telco landscape significantly, and I, for one, am pretty excited about it, to be honest. It's been a little bit quiet for now. Now, from a financial point of view, for Singtel, divesting in Optus could provide a massive financial boost in around 18 billion Australian dollars, and this should allow that company to reallocate resources to its key markets and growth areas. In the last few years, the Australian telecommunication industry has been rapidly evolving, with new technologies and competitors, especially 5G and Starlink, consistently reshaping the landscape. And as we saw in the last few weeks, NBN's speed upgrades to try and account for all the customers they're losing. Now, Singtel's decision to potentially sell Optus reflects that broader trend amongst telco companies, and it is to adapt to these changes, and potentially Australia's long-term competitiveness isn't worth the effort. So is Singtel divesting Optus because it doesn't see a future, or is it because it has many other reasons? So let me know what you think. Would a new business direction for Optus change your opinion of the company? Will the under new management sign up front make you return? Let's chat below. Speaking of NBN, Optus and TPG have announced that they will no longer be providing NBN services to customers on 50 megabits plans who could potentially achieve higher speeds. It's a bit of a caveat. Now, this decision comes as both parties aim to improve the overall network experience for the customers, and they do this by encouraging them to upgrade to those higher plans. And customers affected by this change will be notified and given the option to move to a higher speed plan or remain on their current plan until it is no longer offered. So it'll be a phased out approach. Now, I think this is an absolute dog move. These customers shouldn't be forced to pick a higher plan if their line can go higher. Let them have a choice to have a slower plan. After all, these plans still exist on the NBN. It's just telcos or RSPs don't want to offer them. Now, this reflects that broader change in the telco industry. It is again driven by NBN's changes to the SAU. In those rules, it is forcing RSPs to encourage their customers to adopt higher speeds because those higher plans are more valuable for the RSP and, of course, the NBN. And then it also means they utilize more of the capacity of NBN, which they've built out, I guess. For RSPs, this means if a customer picks a higher speed, they get more data throughput to share amongst the rest of their customers and a higher margin on the service. From an RSP's bottom line and a customer experience point of view, yes, having all customers on plans above 100 megabits is better. But that's only because NBN Co has made it this way. You see, by focusing on customers who can achieve higher speeds, Optus and TPG can actually enhance the network experience for their customers. And it does reduce congestion and improves overall performance. But again, it's because of the NBN's SAU rules. Now, the message from the two RSPs to customers is that if you do choose to upgrade and pay more, you will likely experience faster speeds and more reliable internet speeds. There is ultimately a benefit, and this happens especially during peak usage times. But I think this change will put some customers off, those who prefer to remain on their current plan price. And the sad thing is, this highlights the evolution of the NBN network towards something that may leave customers with little choice. Don't be fooled. Customer experience may be the given reason, but it is the bottom line that comes first. To add to this, according to the latest NBN Wholesale Market Indicators report, Aussie Broadband, Vocus and Superloop have increased their customers' numbers against the likes of Telstra, Optus and TPG. They are still offering lower speed plans for a few dollars less. The three major broadband providers lost nearly 80,000 services in the December 2023 quarter, while smaller NBN providers, Aussie Broadband, Vocus and Superloop, gained around 62,000 NBN wholesale services during that period. Now, obviously many went to Starlink, and Aussie Broadband led the growth with an increase of about 30,000 services that are still overly popular, but Vocus and Superloop increased by 15,000 each. Let me know your thoughts below. Maybe I'm barking up the wrong tree. Should there even be lower speed plans? Let's just start them off at 100. But choice is important. So the prices are so similar too, and that's again been forced by NBN Co. Let me know your thoughts below. Speaking of Aussie Broadband, Aussie has been in the news a few times now. Back in February, they made headlines by throwing a takeover bid at a competitor, Superloop. Now, Aussie Broadband purchased 19.9% of Superloop at 95 cents in cash per share, and then made a conditional, non-binding indicative proposal to acquire the remaining shares at the same value. Both company stock prices jumped on the news. However, a few days later, Superloop rejected the proposal. You see, Superloop's stock price now received a valuation, a bottom value of around $344 million. That's great for the stockholder, and in fact, over the last 6 months, it has jumped 80% to around $1.25 now. Superloop stated that the offer undervalued the company and did not reflect adequately the growth prospects and strategic value. The rejection indicates Superloop's confidence in its future growth and strategic direction, despite the interest from Aussie Broadband. And oh boy, was their confidence in the right place. Those strong words will require strong actions, and they delivered. Not only did Superloop show the market, they did it by taking a swipe at Aussie Broadband. On March 14th, Superloop announced that they are securing a significant contract with Origin Energy, one of Australia's largest energy retailers. The landmark 6-year deal will see Superloop deliver high-speed broadband services to Origin Energy's vast network of sites across Australia, including offices, retail sites, and operational facilities. As part of the deal, approximately 130,000 Origin broadband customers will be migrated from Origin's current network provider to Superloop, increasing Superloop's total customer numbers to approximately 560,000. Now, guess who was Origin's previous network provider? That's it. You guessed it, I'm sure. Aussie Broadband. And oh boy, how the turntables. The contract is expected to add in excess of 19 million annuals EBITDA for Superloop once the migration is completed. Again, another fantastic sign for stockholders. So these were some bold moves. You got Aussie Broadband over here, you got Superloop doing their thing, stealing customers, winning big deals. And it begs the question, did Aussie Broadband know that Origin Energy was talking to Superloop about moving their services? So was Aussie's takeover bid a last-ditch effort to save a significant customer from leaving? Or was it just coincidence? Well, it didn't work out, and Aussie stock dipped 20% last week on the news. Well, let me know your thoughts below. Lastly, during the most recent Comms Day event, where the major topic was NBN Co's speed upgrade, a rumor has started swirling that we may end up beyond 1 gigabit speeds. NBN Co may end up offering 2 gigabit speeds on their network, which is very exciting for the select few who have fiber to the home and are willing to pay those prices. But I guarantee you, upload speeds will still be quite slow. So on that note, it's time to end the episode. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure to like this video if you did, subscribe to support us, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks and bye!